Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Alienware Cup, sponsored by Alienware, brought to you guys by DPM Interactive. And of course, let's not forget about MasterCard, who is the other sponsor of the tournament. I am Luminous. I'm joined by Bruno.
I'm Bruno.
And we are...
Broomy?
Broomy?
Let's go with that.
Let's go with it. Orange Esports versus Zenith. This is game 2 of the best of 3 series in the lower brackets. Loser goes home with 1,500. And let's jump into the draft, as a ton of it was
let's go to the draft.
Yeah, it's already gone on the way. Now, if you missed game number 1, you didn't miss much.
Yeah, it was a short game, about 17 minutes before the GG.
I am very appreciative of Orange that they pushed before they had a 35.
They're not LGD China.
Yeah. They pushed quick. They're like, yeah, we're winning. Let's just win the game now.
To be fair, they have a bear, they had a Weaver that was dealing lots of damage, and they had a team with certain potential to push. But now I like the Zenith I'm looking at.
Yes.
Much more.
So the reason that we haven't been seeing Tinker too much, according to ICICIS, is that they're trying to get a little bit outside of their comfort zone. They need to want to practice for a wider hero pool. But now it's a do or die situation, and as Merlini brought up earlier, you get more practice if you win games. So they're going to try to win this game, and Tinker, to me, is one of their best heroes.
Oh, it is, absolutely. And it's not only the Tinker. We have now aggressive support. It's not a Keeper of the Light and Wisp anymore.
Yeah, well, we will probably not know what that is about, but at least for this game, Stormster is going to get drafted from Orange Esports. That's a hero that I haven't personally seen too much from them.
No, not from them. We've seen them from Navi yesterday, and then they dominated with that. But I'm not sure. I mean, you have to be very confident to go for a Storm Spirit against a Tinker, because I don't think it's a matchup that particularly favors him.
Why don't you think so?
Well, Tinker just can pretty much harass you, get some control, and I mean, yes, if you go for a Russian Orchid, then Tinker will have to have more problems when split pushing, because Storm Spirit can solo you. But if Tinker has a proper early game, goes for March of the Machines, zones you out, it's going to be very annoying as a Storm Spirit to find any kind of farm. I
agree with you on the laning phase portion. I think Stormster is going to get outlined by Tinker fairly decently. Tinker has longer range.
Right.
A clean animation. He has blind. He has March of Machine, like you pointed out. But I think having a way to actually find Tinker during the mid-game phase when he's flash farming over the map with Booty Travel and a Blink Dagger, and sometimes when you're trying to siege a base against a Tinker and you're running through the March of Machine, you can't just go face up. I think the only way to actually break the base against a Tinker is to kill him first.
Or buy 5 blade mails.
Or 5. Yeah, that's actually not a bad way to go about it.
Hey, it works.
It works until you get to BKB, and then you're like, oh wait, we got 5 blade mails. what does 5 blade mail do? But back to my point, I think when you're pushing against a Tinker, when you're trying to siege your base, you need a way to kill them. We've seen teams in the past who use a highly level Vengeful Spirit, but Stormster is just, kind of more safe-proof.
I like how you say when you're going to break your base, assuming that Orange will be the one trying to break.
Well, if they want to win, they got to break the base, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you weren't saying like what happens if Tinker is the one applying pressure.
Right, I don't know about that. They are definitely the defender in this series. They do have offensive support and trying to kind of control the early to mid game, but they're farming anti-mage, they're farming Tinker. This is kind of as turtley, as defensive as it possibly gets. And Orange Esports says, yeah, we got Storm Spirit, we got Lifestealer, and Chen to Darkseer to apply tower pressure, and of course Storm and Lifestealer aforementioned to apply global hero killing pressure.
I mean, and now if you want to deal with a Tinker with a Lifestealer bomb, it will be much easier, because those two just can get right in Tinker's face, and there's not much you can do. You can blind the Lifestealer, he will rage, get away. You can blind the Storm Spirit, he will still do lots of damage to you no matter what. Zenith is about to have a tough mid game, and they will rely heavily on the anti-mage to make things happen. Because yes, if the anti-mage gets the perfect farm, if he gets everything he wants, he destroys the Storm Spirit by virtue of Mana Void, and he can go face to face against Lifestealer pretty easy. We'll see what happens. You have to get there first.
Yeah.
And they do have the offensive support to just secure a good lane. The Tinker, as we said, will have a favorable lane in average compared to Storm Spirit. But it will be all about whether the Chen can get out of the jungle fast, get a couple of quick towers. It will be whether the Darkseer can get everything he wants and get a quick mech. And will be about whether the Lifestealer will be a good Lifestealer or an ice in the last game Lifestealer.
I'm gonna just put it out there. It's not hard to play a better Lifestealer than Ice last game. No disrespect to him. But yeah, I think Zenith, whatever their last pickup here, has to have some burst damage because as nice as Rubik and Visage is, at level 1 you have Lift and you have Soul Assumption, and neither they need something to enable the Soul Assumption. Magnus,
you want some burst damage, you want some stuns. Now you've got it. I don't know how the Magnus fits into this lineup very well. I mean, it's still empowered on the anti-mage, which is pretty.
This is some nasty late game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really, really tough to break the base against. But like, how do you lane this? As we see a Shadow Shaman, and Orange Esports says, dude, you got no early game base defense. You have Marching Machine, but my Chen creeps and my Shadow Shaman wards don't give a damn about Marching Machines.
We're going to see what happens with Orange right now. I mean, the Shadow Shaman, as good as he is at sieging, he's not a good lane support. He's kind of low range in his stance.
Who does he need to zone out? Magnus off lane? Like, that doesn't require zoning. Like,
what if Magnus goes mid, Tinker goes safe lane, and they go with an offensive
try with AM?
Yes.
With AM to enable that Soul Assumption nuke?
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't work, Bruno. I think you got too much chicken McNuggets in you.
I do have a lot of chicken McNuggets.
we got the 40 chicken McNuggets for $8.99.
That's
welcome to America. And
that's just wrong, man.
None of us took the 40 chicken McNugget challenge, which is when you try to eat 40 chicken nuggets by yourself.
I only could eat 10.
Yeah, that meal was as heavy as Ice Lifestealer last game, if you know what I mean. But let's jump into this one. Zenith, they are facing elimination here. Ice off playing Magnus. Let's see if he's going to have a better time here. Ice is going to be playing support Rubik. Yamate is going to be playing on the Anti-Mage. XY Tinker, one of the most defining hero for the team and for himself. And last but not least, X Freedom on the Visage.
On the side of Orange, we have Ohio going to play that off-lane Darkseer. We have Xing going to play the Chen in the jungle. Mushi will be the Storm Spirit mid, and I'm looking forward to that because Mushi is such a fun hero to watch. KYXY is going to be the Lifestealer. Let's see if he can outperform Ice. All he needs to do is not die 3 times in the first 5 minutes. And then Net, the support of the tournament. Magic Sand King. We'll see if the same magic applies to his Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman definitely as high scaling or ceiling in terms of skill-wise as a support hero as Sand King. So I'm definitely looking forward to his.
It's all about them war traps.
War traps. Well, we'll see. Ice. As an offlane, seems like it's not going to be a solo offlane as these 2 supports are available. I don't particularly dislike this lane matchup. You talked about how Shadow Shaman is not exactly the best laning support, and Chen, he doesn't actually do much till like minute 2.5. So you definitely have a wide window and to kind of apply any type of pressure that you want to do in that particular lane.
And now the invisibility room will be picked up by the Darkseer top. He doesn't know what he's going to find. I don't think they know that the supports are down there. It's going to be a Darkseer versus anti-mage lane. A lane that the anti-mage wins as long as he gets pulled at least 1 set of tangos and a salve.
Which he has.
All that. So anti-mage shouldn't have much trouble finding farm in this lane.
Yeah, I wonder if anti-mage is going to go straight into Ring of Health or maybe Tranquil Boots or maybe even upgrading that poor man's show. I imagine it's going to be a Ring of Health. And as you expect on the bot lane here, Zenith using their basically superiority in the early game support to zone everybody out. And, well, back in the mid lane, though, Mushi, you expect Tinker to have a better time, but look at the CS on Mushi. 4 last hits and 3 deny. No, just 2 deny on the first wave, but completely dominating XY right now. And this is why you personally think he's the best kind of 1v1 definitely on the mid lane.
We're going to see what happens, but XY has the laser. He can still find some last hits just by virtue of using that. He can zone out Mushi a little bit. I have to say, it's just Mushi is the best laner, the better laner of these 2. So even if he's at a disadvantage with the hero, he has a little bit more base damage than the Tinker at the moment, and he certainly has a skill as well. Let's see what happens top when they try and rotate and gank this anti-mage.
Yeah, we're going to try to get a smoke gank here from bot jungle all the way up to top. Net does have, well, Net in form of Shackle. The Shackle has to be full duration. They need the Iron Shot on top. Ohio doing a very good job kind of baiting him. Yamate thinks he's zoning right now, but he might be in the worst trouble. Net's going to show himself. Can he get the net off? Unfortunately, looks like we do have another kill going on the bot lane, or is it mid lane? No, meanwhile, Clap's going to come off. Let's see if Yamate's going to blink to the right. They need one more hit. Surge coming from Ohio. Not necessary as we have Shadow Shaman getting the first kill there, but
Freedom gets the first blood of Mushi, and that will give Tinker all the advantage he needs. Now he can control that lane. It's level 3 to Storm Spirit level 3 as well, okay. It's about to hit level 4 a little bit faster. He recovers all that experience that he lost out of those denies. And now, Shadow Shaman and Chen, the double roaming combo, they may not know that X Freedom is just around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, they know definitely the rotation's not there, as it's going to be a 1v1 on the bot lane now. The support long gone from the mid as well. And it seems like everybody's setting up shop at top, and I got to say, that's going to be a beneficial to KYXY. The 1v1 matchup will favor him on the bot lane. He does have a level advantage. He does have a creep advantage over Ice, although not by much. Mid lane here should be more so of a wash, but again, you assume Mushi to be the higher individual skill player here in this lane. And he's still actually leading by a little bit of advantage in terms of the level.
It's fine. They both have their bottles. That's what matters. So they will be able to just spam a little bit more, be more aggressive, making sure that they can regen that HP just by using a couple of charges. This lane shouldn't be as impactful until, say, level 6 if Mushi decides to jump on him. But you can't jump on the Tinker unless he's kind of low health. Otherwise, you get lasered, and you rely only on the Remnant damage to kill him, which it's going to be kind of hard.
Yeah, we do have another smoke picked up on Shadow Shaman, although not delivered yet. We do have Mushi drawing the hell out of that minimap, knowing that a gank is coming that way, and he was absolutely correct. So very good awareness, particularly thanks to this observer ward being placed over here. So for the most part, Orange playing whatever they need to do, you know, early on to basically win all of the lane. Darkseer up top here, perhaps in a little bit of trouble as the supports are rotating, and they definitely have enough damage. And you can see that Yamate is going to be zoning him out.
Barely any mana.
Yeah, just can he actually surge out of there? I should get the lift off, I think. Oh, it's going to be close. Dude did get the lift off. They will toss him back. The slow applies, and he is so dead. The question is, who's going to get the last hit? Oh, is he actually dead? Stout Shield OP, guys. No mana for the mana burn, so Yamate actually does no damage. Nope. And Freedom was not able to fire off a soul assumption because, well, or he did fire off, but it wasn't enough damage.
It was not enough damage. As you said, Anti-Mage, not the best hero to build up charges of soul assumption.
Yeah. And you were going to call offensive trolling with that AM.
Hey, I was just making sure you were ready.
Okay.
But in any case, if you want to think about it, it's kind of the same as the death, because Ohio had to go back. And he's not TPing back into the lane. He just walked back and walked back in.
Well, at least got a boot out of it, so you know.
You can buy the boots next to the secret.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's good, but you know, Zenith definitely okay. You know, they're decent in that exchange. Yamate still hasn't picked up the Ring of Health just yet. Although I imagine he will do so once he gets back to the secret shop. How do you feel that this early game is going for either team? Obviously, Zenith is knocked down by 4 kills, or 4 deaths.
Well, if you look at the farm, Lifestealer and Storm Spirit are getting much more. Oh, look at that. Ohio again.
Can we get the lift? They do get the lift. They toss him back, and now Freedom has already built up a ton of souls. And with this particular kill, maybe they're not farming as well.
Wow.
Well, imagine they will get the kill eventually. And yeah, it's going to be Visage that picks that one up. Yeah, sure, they're not getting as many kills, but I feel like this particular heroes use go a lot better, like the Anti-Mage, like the Tinker. And you expect them to have a slow start. Once they do have that mid-game kind of farm, they should be able to take the late, but is this game going to go that late? Because we're still dealing with the Storm Spirit, with the Lifestealer Bomb, with the push from a Chen, as well as a Shadow Shaman. Speaking of Shadow Shaman, trying to make it go on the mid lane, and they are going to have a successful go. Again, oh, here comes the mid lane. Ice. Shockwave not going to get the kill. Very close.
30
no
HP.
Yeah.
But now he can go to the mid lane and farm a little bit more. Especially, it's not about the farm, it's about the experience. He's about to hit level 6. When he hits level 6, he gets the Arcane Boots suddenly. You have a Magnus that can gank any lane. He can't kill the Darkseer again, but is it worth it to kill the Darkseer at this moment? His farm is already delayed. You will not change much if you kill that. And you now have to go either on the Storm Spirit or the Lifestealer. Both really hard to gank. One because he has just sipped away, and the other guy because Rage is kind of annoying.
Yeah,
with the RP, you might still be able to kill him though.
It's definitely as you said. Like normally I say you always get you gank the Darkseer because by providing an early mech, he just gives the team so much more team fight in conjunction of his vacuum and wall. But in this particular game, there's Chen, so he's going to be getting the mech ideally. And it's like you say, you got to gank the other lanes, but you can't because Storm is definitely harder to gank hero. Leicester is going to be a tough gank as well, RP or not. So I'm not really sure how does Zenith recover from here. X Freedom level 3.5, Rubik level 4. I don't think your supports are leveled enough. Yamate is not farming too well. It's got 26 CS in about 7 minutes, and Tinker's having a tough time in the mid lane as well. So where does Zenith go from here? They have the level 6, and but here comes the
the
Zip on the
jump
mid
on
lane
Zip.
against XY, and Ohio's gonna vacuum back, and of course Iron Shell plus Storm Zip. That's a dirty combo, and well, another kill goes now to Orange Esport.
And now Mushi and Lifestealer both with 45, now 45 CS. Orange is in control of this early game. You can say that there were a couple kills on the Darks here, but the kills, especially when they're the offlaner, they don't mean as much.
Yep.
If you kill the mid laner twice, and then who else died? I think a support died. No, actually, the anti-mage died.
Yeah, the anti-mage, remember, he got
Yeah,
ganked
right,
by
right,
the
right.
Chen.
In the early, yeah. So you get 3 kills that are actually high priority kills, and you just lose your offlaner. It really isn't just 3-2 kills. It feels more like 5-1.
Yeah, it definitely is. I absolutely agree with that.
Body.
The bright side is Ice is not dying, I guess. Although
Yes.
I'm not sure how well he will maintain its perfect record, but he is actually doing quite well on the off lane here. Already level 6 with the Arcane Boot finish. He needs to teleport Squirrel because, for example, in that mid lane, if he TP'd in, maybe he would have RP and saved his allies. He does have the Arcane Boot for now. We'll work towards that teleport Squirrel. But Orange Esport, they're playing a lot more aggressive. They're roaming a lot more efficiently as well. Ice is going to run into 2 supports, and he's got to be careful here. Net already level 5. He's got a ton of... Like, we don't expect Shadow Shaman to do too much in the laning stage. You talked about how he's not a good laning support, but he's done enough, right? He's roaming, he's ganking. The 2 Smoke of the Sea ganks has been extremely effective.
Oh, they're going again on Dark CR. Let's see if they can do that. Ice gets the lift. They're going to hit
They
him.
get the Mana Void. They should be able to get this kill. Oh,
They decide not to. They don't want the supports to rotate. They don't want the TP. Just goes back. Again, the Dark Seer will have to go back to the tower. Now he has a TP, so he can TP back. It's not a kill, but it's a little bit of a delay on him. But again, it's only on the Dark Seer. Storm Spirit is doing whatever he wants. Lifestealer is doing whatever he wants. There's a
Speaking of
huge
which-
dive.
yeah. Orange Esport making dive past that tier 1. They are going to get the kill. To me, once Shadow Shaman, once he hits 6, that's when your outer tower for Zenith has no chance of survival. Right now, they're already struggling to defend these particular towers. XY is not going to have a good day because that Storm Surge is going to get his number all day and start ganking him. And like you said, what does Zenith do? They could only gank Darkseer. They can't gank the Lifestealer. They can't gank the Storm.
And now the good thing about them is that Tinker decided to go for full March of the Machines. So knowing that the early game was not on their advantage, they're going to try to defend all those tier 1 towers. Now Tinker will not have much killing potential. Even when he gets the Boots of Travel, he will not be able to probably solo with the support. But he will be able to defend towers very, very well.
Well, if he doesn't get zipped and pulled and then get initiated
Right.
on things like Iron Shell Vacuum. So we've definitely seen that. And Mushi not going for an early BKB, although I don't think it's a bad item choice here. He's looking about the zip, but look at Ice. He's already hiding from the background. Skewer forward into an RP. Will the RP hit? It doesn't. No, he cancels it. Mushi out of mana right now. Do you have a surge here? It's no surge. And a great Mana Void for this kill steal. Or kill ensure, whatever you call that one. Yamate dealing a ton of damage output. That's what you expect out of your Magnus, and Ice delivered great gank from him.
That was actually what they needed. They had to kill that Storm Spirit. The Rubik died, but let's be honest, it's a level 5 Rubik that is not doing much of the same. On bottom lane.
XY thinks he's farming Ancients, but well, he gets ganked because the enemy team was farming his Ancients. And that's got to be the worst feeling in the world. You lose the 2 big creeps in the Ancients, you die as you're farming it. Orange has got their number, and you're now paranoid. Do they got wards there? Are they just hacking me? What's going on? It is so bad for XY right now. He normally plays a very good tanker, but damn. And look at this. Yamate says, 11-minute Midas, guys, no problem.
Storm Spirit just solo kills Ice Magnus.
Yeah, he's not that
living life
useful
right
when
now.
his RP's not back on, so it's okay.
Yep.
But what do you think about this Midas right now coming up from Yamate? Tranquil into Midas. It's definitely one of those Midas where you say, hey guys, are we playing catch up? It's not a value Midas, right? That's when you
No.
get like 5 minutes in and you say, you know, holla dollar time. But now you're just playing catch up, and I'm not sure whether they have the time or room to play catch up.
Well, I mean, to be honest, he can't do much more than that. Either he goes
You go
for
Battle Fury, I mean.
Well, you go Battle Fury, and it's pretty much the same as going Midas in terms of.
So
what
why
you
do you go Battle Fury is the question. I mean, what advantage do you get by going Midas?
What you can't do is going for early, let's try and fight now items, because Orange will dominate these early fights. And now the bottom lane is being pushed, the Serpent Wards are there, and that tower is not long for this wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can go for Battle Fury, but Maybe he's deciding, okay, let's all in or just go home. We have to make something happen. ISSI is going to charge there. That's the Shadow Shaman. Looks tempting.
Gotta skewer him. They do left him up. That lift has like some extra range. Skewer backward Hand of God not gonna be too effective. Those wards though, gonna at least destroy the tier 1. So still done. But meanwhile, Stormster is gonna get 1 kill. He's got a double damage. Can he get that pull? Rex Freedom trying to drop some nukes, but he's in big trouble. Ice, does he have the RP? He does drop a very, very good one, but those wards are still doing massive amount of damage in the team fight. And Yamate joining the fray here with a freaking Hand of Midas is gonna get a double kill in this exchange. Blink back out. Is he gonna make it back home? It is a very high level blink, but he should be absolutely fine. All things considered, not actually a bad fight. They lost at tier 1. Yamate should be able to make it back home. But despite even having Hand of Midas, he's still being quite effective for his team.
It was kind of cleaning up kind of thing. He didn't deal most of the damage, but he was there at the right moment, at the right time. He gets 2 kills, which is something that you need on that anti-mage. The Tinker is pretty much lost right now. He will not get his boots of travel at the normal Tinker times. Normally, if you're having a good game, you get 9 minutes, 10 minutes boots of travel. If you're having a bad one, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
For this game, I think it's going to be more like 17.
Yeah.
So without a Tinker there to create the space for the anti-mage, whatever kills, whatever farm he can get, it's a huge victory for Zenith.
To me, right now, they're doing a good job of killing Mushi. Mushi joining these fights, playing as aggressively as he should, since he's a Storm Spirit, but Anti-Mage is right there with that Mono Void and picking him off a couple times. So despite him, having that accelerated farm in the laning stage, his death is really slowing him down. He should have Orchid by now because he's been playing so well. But the death is definitely slowing him down. And I think Zenith is, they're not in a great shape, but they're doing okay. And to me, it's Ice's RP. He's actually playing really well this game.
He is playing well. There's a point though where the RP alone is not enough. We're still in that moment of the game where the nuke damage from the Visage, from the shockwave of the Magnus itself, can deal lots of damage to kill. Okay, we see a stun on XY.
Oh, Stormster's gonna zap in it. Ice really overstayed his welcome. You cannot make those questionable positional play against a Storm Spirit. And Orange, because they have things like Chen, they could easily just say keep on pushing and destroy your tier 2. And I think that's exactly what they're gonna try to do.
Serpent wards are up as well. That has such a low cooldown, 110. It's a bit less than 2 minutes.
Well, Darkseer in the mid lane here. If Yamate want to defend, TP back and start defending that tier 2, they definitely could have a 5v4 advantage. And I do believe Orange recognizes that as well, and they should be backing off.
They will farm their enemy jungle though. They find a couple stacks. They're going to take them, and that will mean that there's not much space for the anti-mage to farm. There's not much space for the Tinker to get those boots of travel. It's going to be travel for Zenith, actually. Yeah. And they try to make a 5-man smoke, and that means that the anti-mage is not farming. That means that no one is farming. They're trying to get a kill, and they cannot be happy just killing a support like Net.
Yeah,
they have to kill someone big.
Anti-mage says, forget that. I'm not part of your 5-man smoke gank. I'm gonna gank some creeps up top here, and this Midas actually, again, like you said, it's an item that allows him to maybe even play a little bit more aggressively and get kills. They are going to find themselves a net.
Root row.
Yep, that should be a complete free one. Visage picks that one up. It's not the most important kill, as you said. It's a 4-man smoke gank, and you only got support out of it. You're not getting a tower or anything like that. In fact, you're losing a tower. It's KYXY already right there.
KYXY, who's going for the race car build, apparently.
Race car, or do you think it's Heaven's Halberd? I don't think he's behind, so he's definitely not going Heaven's Halberd. This is your standard YYF kind of life stealer.
No, according to other people, Loda invented this.
Loda?
Loda invented.
Well, Loda invented Dota, so like whatever else is Loda. But to me, it was YYF that first popularized the build, and it's face SMY drums. Back in the bot lane here, Ice gets pulled with the Iron Shot on top. Can you steer her back out? No.
Nope.
Storm Spirit, too fast, too strong, too big.
And he has the money for the Orchid now if he wants to buy it. Mushi has the money after they get this tower. It's not only that. It will be maybe a mech for the Chen if he's going for it. No, actually the mech is going on the Darkseer. So Chen is saving. He has 1.7k gold. What do you think he goes for? He doesn't need the mech. He can go for a pipe or he can go for Acceptor.
I think you go Vlats. Just keep on pushing tower. Although the kind of higher ticket item that you suggested is not bad as well.